Did you know that every person you meet has two lighthouses? What do you mean, two lighthouses? Yes, the seen and the unseen. Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I have a new book called The Shrouded Lighthouse, How to Uncover the Silver Lining in Every Situation Shift. I delve deep into the inner work that needs to be done in order to mature spiritually. Now, this book is the follow-up to my 2019 release, The Holographic Relationship. In this book, I will talk about the two lighthouses. Go to my website right now to pre-order. The pre-order link is theshroudedlighthouse.com. The first 500 people to do so, you will get an autographed copy. Thank you all for supporting my work. We're about to change the game with this book. I appreciate you guys for always supporting the work that I do. I look forward to getting your feedback on this new book. Thank you. Did you know that every person you meet has two lighthouses? What do you mean, two lighthouses? Yes, the seen and the unseen. Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I have a new book called The Shrouded Lighthouse, How to Uncover the Silver Lining in Every Situation Shift. I delve deep into the inner work that needs to be done in order to mature spiritually. Now, this book is the follow-up to my 2019 release, The Holographic Relationship. In this book, I will talk about the two lighthouses. Go to my website right now to pre-order. The pre-order link is theshroudedlighthouse.com. The first 500 people to do so, you will get an autographed copy. Thank you all for supporting my work. We're about to change the game with this book. I appreciate you guys for always supporting the work that I do. I look forward to getting your feedback on this new book. Thank you.
Don't be this guy. Raise your drive and libido. It's time to man up with X-Wolf. Boost your testosterone levels to help decrease your body fat percentage and increase lean muscle mass gains. Boost your stamina and blood flow for those tough workouts. And these workouts also. Go to xlabsubs.com to find out more. Don't be
Black
this guy.
People
Raise your drive
and their businesses need black dollars. WritersPause.com, black-owned business. A couple doing designer coffee delivered to your house. All of their roasters are located in America, and they don't roast your coffee beans until you choose your blend. You're a coffee lover and you black, not one more penny should go to Starbucks, Coffee Bean, McDonald's coffee, any of that shit. All right? They have caffeinated or decaffeinated. They are WritersPause.com. Black-owned business, husband and wife, grinding, putting it together. Now is the time. I want everybody to get on their Instagram and follow them at Writer's Pause. So you know what? Zoe Williams was talking about y'all business today, and I'm interested. Maybe I haven't had coffee before. Do you guys have hot chocolate? Do you have tea? Well, whatever it is, reach out to this company and support this company big time. Now, moving on, CMOSbusiness.com. This is about to pop off in a major way. CMOS Business is about to pop off in a major way. Lots of folks getting their orders of CMOS. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for trusting my word on this. CMOSbusiness.com. Go there right now if you want to start a micro business where you are the retailer. Your wholesaler is me. CMOSbusiness.com. We got the plug to St. Lucia. Oh yeah, down there where your folk be at. In the ocean, in trouble from tornadoes. Look, we've got the plug, all right? CMOSbusiness.com. Get over there and support this business. Also, I'm telling you right now, I got something huge coming. I'm going to talk about it in a little bit, but I got something huge coming from my partnership with CMOSbusiness.com. Let me tell you what CMOS does. It supports the oxygenation of your cells. It improves nutrient absorption, nourishes and beautifies skin, hair, and nails. Well, if it only did one of them, I knew it would be lying. Because skin, nails, and hair is made of the same thing, right? Right. Builds strong bones and strengthens connective tissues. Boosts immunity. Lord knows we need immunity.
Man. Woo.
Did y'all hear about Jason Tatum?
What?
Young boy.
What happened?
Out of Boston. Boston Celtic.
What happened to him?
They said the boy got long haul COVID.
What the hell? That's a new COVID.
Y'all ain't heard of long haul COVID?
No.
Look it up. Long haul COVID. Now he's got asthma.
See, that's with some bullshit right there.
So it boosts immunity, increases energy, reduces inflammation, eliminates or helps eliminate excessive mucus. And as Dr. Sabi told us, mucus is a problem.
That is a big problem.
CMOSbusiness.com. If you're serious, call that number right now, 1-800-298-8513. Moving on. Total package energy. I'm on all of this. Vitamin C, vitamin B12 shots, energy shots, the protein. Total package energy is doing big things. Black-owned business, out of the Bay Area. Don't talk about it. Why are you sitting up there grinning at the camera?
Because the chat room, they told me to put my glasses on. You know how I get to do it.
I look over there, you like.
Posing and shit.
Hey, people like you, Donnie.
Thank you, Zoe.
Okay, cool. All right, total package energy. Support, support, support. Black-owned business. Let's move, let's move, let's move. Also, I got a new brand that I want to talk about. Right? We talked about X-Wolf. Right? We played the X-Wolf video. That's testosterone booster. Everybody that's under 30, they already know. Or over 30, they already know they need that in their lives. Right? That's X-Wolf. Go to xlabssups.com. And I'm not trying to promote nothing that I personally don't use myself. Because then
right.
I don't know if that's cool.
It's not cool.
Yeah, you gotta like know what you know what I'm saying? You gotta have like an experience of it, right?
Yeah.
I'll just talk about it. I ain't never used it. I got a new product that I'm on.
What is that?
Because I'm trying to grow my beard all the way out.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the Negro Santa Claus side of the game.
Trying to get the spaces that don't
The little
grow
patches, yeah. My shit look like a gray lawn. Little patchy lawn that dog's been peeing on.
They say ginger is good for hair growth.
I'm about to do it. I got a new product from Glow Cosmetics Allure.com. Look, it's got coffee beans in it.
Coffee beans.
What? Caffeinated.
Hey.
So you get your scalp high.
Why not?
Caffeinated beans.
Glow beard oil. This is
Oh, cool.
the cold brew beard oil.
Let me smell. As a barber, I would have used that product on my customers and charged them about $30 for one little.
You got to get your own.
I just want to smell.
www.glowcosmeticsallure.com. Black-owned business based out of Atlanta. Get over there right now. Hydrates and salt.
Ooh, I would kiss you if you was wearing this, ladies. Ooh, it smell good. Smell that.
You want to kiss up on niggas, huh? Don't you got a man?
He had this on. He might get some kisses too.
Oh, hey.
know
Glow
what you're talking
Cosmetics
about. I'm
Allure
gonna see the
hydrates
last
and
one.
softens coarse beard hair, promotes hair growth to add length and fill in patchy. Oh God, I'm patches. Okay. So look, it's vegan, it's gluten-free. Hey, support the black-owned business. Go to glowcosmeticsallure.com. Also, the HuriKane Report.
Hey.
These my peoples right here. They're about to launch their website, relaunch their website. Again, I keep telling y'all, they are the Al Jazeera of black news, right? Black news, news that matter in the barbershop, in the cigar lounge, in the salons, news that we talk about. Go to their website, H-report.news. Support, and support some more. All right. Do I have something else? Oh, sometimes I forget.
Your own book?
Yeah, hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button, okay? Everybody in here should hit the like button. Let me tell you something. We about to have a crazy show. Bobby's about to come. I got a financial advisor supposed to jump in on Zoom. This about to be a crazy show.
That's right.
And I got the aunties in the building.
Whoa.
What's up?
This about to be very interesting. Anyway, before I get to it, I've been doing those 30-minute coaching sessions for people who pre-ordered a copy of my book,
Cool.
The Shrouded Lighthouse. I'm telling you, The Shrouded Lighthouse is gonna be crazy, dog. I ain't gonna tell you who agreed to write some forwards and some comments for me, but I got several heavy hitters that you guys all know and, you know, respect.
Oh, we'll check it out.
Y'all gonna be like, hey. So it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. So the Shrouded Lighthouse is coming last week of June. We are going through this editing process. That's the most difficult part of writing a book. Let me just say this right now, because it seems like I get more sales when I give you guys something.
Right.
So that coaching, that 30-minute coaching thing popped off pretty well. So what I'm gonna do is offer it for today until noon tomorrow.
That's dope.
Anybody that I haven't reached out to yet, don't worry, I'm gonna reach out to you with instructions on how to get your coaching session. It's just that the phone just can't be ringing 24 hours a day.
Right.
Right.
So I gotta coach a bunch and then wait a second, then coach some more. So if you want a free 30-minute coaching session, go right now to theshroudedlighthouse.com, theshroudedlighthouse.com. Go right now. Anybody who orders right now until noon, Friday. Noon, and that's noon, not 3 o'clock Eastern time, because a lot of people order after. Don't order after. Noon, Pacific Standard Time, which would be, what is that, 9 a.m.?
Pacific 9.
Eastern time.
Oh, Eastern time. Yeah, that's 9 a.m.
No,
It's
no, it's
ahead
not.
of time.
No, it's not.
They 3 hours ahead.
Yes,
They're ahead.
yes. So they're ahead of us. Noon here.
Oh, it's 3 p.m.
That's right.
3 o'clock.
I'm talking about 3 p.m. here.
I know I went back.
I was confused. Don't worry. Anyway, holla at your boy, theshroudedlighthouse.com. Let's get to it right now. Did we get our guest?
Nope.
All right. Well, I'll text him. Don't worry. You guys remember my guest. I gave him a radio show at Dash Radio.
Oh, sure. Handing out shows.
And this dude is a pretty powerful dude in the area of finance.
Okay.
He knows, if you got some money, he knows how to help you make that money make you money while you're
Like
asleep.
that.
We need to talk.
No, he's a smart guy.
We need him to
No,
chime on
he's a
in.
very smart guy, right? And I'm gonna bring him on once we get him. I'm gonna bring him on so he could talk to you ladies. You guys can ask him questions, the whole 9 yards. But today's topic, and Bobby is supposed to be here too.
All right.
That's why I got his mic set up over there. Bobby's supposed to roll in here. This is a tough topic. How to build successful, healthy black relationships from brokenness. I know that's hard. That's hard. I listen to Mimi all the time. If he working and he got something going, I'ma hold him down.
I was trying to find a way to get some money about it.
We gonna make this shit work.
Yeah.
That's today's topic. We gonna make this shit work.
That's not what we gonna do.
And I wanted to bring in the financial advisor. I wanted to bring in you two sisters because y'all have an immense amount of experience in life, right? Bobby, Bobby's Uncle Bobby to everybody. But here's my question. Did y'all see that the ArcLight, those ArcLight theaters, they shut down?
Yeah, I saw that.
Right? Because of COVID. Ain't nobody going to the movies. How they gonna make money?
Right.
Right.
ArcLight shut down. Few other major businesses are shutting down.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And you say, well, what does that got to do with black love from brokenness?
Oh, I get it.
I'll read it to you right now. ArcLight Cinemas and Pacific Theaters won't be reopening. Parent company Decurion, that's an interesting name, hands keys back to landlords. Eesh. The movies are gone, right? Let me just ask, if the things you spend your money on, oh, did you hear about the Westfield malls?
What about them?
Closing, all of them.
No.
Are you serious?
Oh, let me pull up the
Half of them are called Westfield.
Exactly. They got out of the mall business because ain't nobody in the malls because of COVID.
See, there's another agenda here. Sorry.
I'm just telling. Here it is, right here. But do you see how I frame that? The shit you spend your money on is closing for lack of money. And those places, those institutions have more money than you. And if they closing, what state are you in? Let's read. Let's read this. Westfield's French parent company plans to sell U.S. malls.
Oh, sell them.
Westfield Culver City and Westfield Century City could be sold, according to a financial report from its French parent company.
So they're selling. They're not closing. They're just going to have a new owner.
You think so?
Oh, yes, with that situation.
The same way it did
But you
when it was
gotta
Fox
ask.
Hills
But you
Mall.
gotta ask, why are they selling?
Well, let me tell you something. They're selling for several reasons. First
Talk
of
to
all,
me.
The mall has been closed for quite some time, so then they've had the issue with that and not getting the rents, and so that whatever responsibility they were having. But some of those people have gotten bailout loans. Right,
Exactly.
so they gonna act like they selling it, then they rebuying it.
That's fair.
It's all a twist in the game. You feel me? The real players are still playing in the game. You feel me? They got the SBA loan, they got the EIDL loan, they got loans. You feel me? So they kind of get the bread. They playing games. That's why half the time you see the furniture stores that says going out of business, and they be back, and the same sign, going out of business. It's all a game. It was all a dream.
Right. J-Spot closing every 2 years.
The
Come
J-Spot.
on.
Knock it off, the J-Spot.
So the J-Spot in the Westfields is apples and easies.
I'm just making it.
This fool said the J-Spot.
Jay, shout out.
So let me read it. Culver City,
Okay.
California. A new financial report from Westfield's French parent company reveals that changes could be headed to Westfield Culver City and Westfield Century City as the company plans to sell its U.S. malls. Malls and department stores have taken a huge hit during the pandemic. And although indoor dining is reopening in Los Angeles County this week, there could be some shifts at the Los Angeles Westfield Mall. Now, you know, most of the damn malls out here are all owned by Westfield.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Unibail, what is this? Rodamaco, that's a company, I guess. Westfield is a commercial real estate company in Paris that manages a number of malls across the world. It released its 2020 earnings report in February 2021, stating that the Westfield malls had only 70 days of normal operations in 2020.
Yep.
For the whole year. Now, businesses can't work that way.
No.
All I'm saying is, if the things you like to do and you like to spend your money on
Right.
is folding because of the financial cramp, what is that doing to your home?
You wanna?
Now, y'all heard us. We've had all types of shows on this before. Ladies, don't date a man's potential. Right? But isn't building in a relationship banking on each partner's potential anyway? Now we got to recontextualize building. What does building with you mean? Because a lot of women be like, I want to build.
I think building with the man, see, first of all, you're already built up as two individuals when you meet a person. So building with someone means you've got to start your structure from the ground up, because each layer is going to be different that you have to go through in life as a couple. What you went through as a single person ain't shit. That was just building your character. Now you have to build this entity that is you, that is us, that is we. You know?
What?
Don't act like you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. He know what I'm talking about.
This is what I'm really saying. Is we too expensive today?
It's expensive than a motherfucker.
I'm waiting, Mimi. Come on, keep it real. Is we just too damn expensive today?
In most cases, yeah. In other people's cases, no. But yeah, definitely. I mean, the wees are having a problem, especially if both we is not doing the wees the way we want.
But see,
you know,
in the broke weed department, there's niggas out there in cardboard boxes happy than a motherfucker together. I got a mic on.
You think?
Oh, they out there smelly, happy, funky,
I've seen
eating the food off the ground together. Baby, I found a potato. Let's make potato soup out of it. They are happy. So.
No, but see, that's another aspect of the conversation. Because what them bums have in that cardboard box, most people don't have that. You talking, if they content with a cardboard box
and each other.
And potato soup and each other.
No soap and water.
Dirty, musty, hard-ass feet.
Happy.
Immune to rat bites, all that.
Bed bugs don't live there.
Hey, it don't mean nothing.
I seen it.
We got each other. You got pretty eyelashes, girl. In this box. Go ahead.
Hey, well, I'm gonna tell you some real stuff. I have people that I deal with because of the businesses that I have. And there's a particular group that fit the description where you're saying they're smelly, you know, they're unattractive. When people see them, they almost look like Linus in real life. But do you know, they both have a boyfriend now. And so I was looking at that, I'm like, whoa, so I couldn't wait to see the boyfriends, you know, to see what was really going on. Mm-hmm. So I see the boyfriends, and the boyfriends are similar to them. So we look at fish tanks in life. Are we in a stinky fish tank? We got the clean one. We got the dirty one. We got the one with the big puffers. We got the one with the big octopus. You know, it's different kind of fish tanks. You know what I mean? That people live in, let's just say. So in the dirty one with all the thing crawling up at the top, there's fishes in there. and they having a good time gubbling on that dirt. So the people that's in them dirty fish tanks, they don't have a problem with meeting another person in the dirty fish tank, because basically if they try to get with somebody, they're meeting them where they at. This is where they are. Now if they try to get with one of them octopuses, the octopus is gonna laugh at them. Are you over here? You'll get your ass over there on the other side of town. So the point I'm making is that I believe there's levels in life, and some people, when you're on a certain level, you're dealing with, it's like proximity. Who are you around? Okay, maybe they stink, but I sure love his laugh.
But see, and I believe that if you're broke, two broke people that are working class people, they going to work every day, they got 5 kids, they coming home. Like you, Zo, you're a father. You raise children. You know that you can't go off.
I'm a father, not a farmer. Like, you raise kids.
Yeah,
like, I got a gang of goats.
You raise your youngest. But you can't just go fuck off $5,000 when your kids are in high school on some frivolous bullshit unless you just got it like that. So the regular person knows that you have to work with a person, period. That's what people mean by build. They're thinking, oh, we can build this together, but what are you building if one person's not on the same mental level as the other?
Now watch this. Somebody in the chat room, Aisha Kadim, says, don't financially build with a man. That is his job. You can spiritually build and build a home.
I believe that, yeah.
So my thought is a little different. I believe every household, every person, every situation is very different. Some men need their queen to be there. Sometimes a queen can see something a man don't say, hey, I don't think that's a good one. I think, maybe he won't listen, but those thoughts, I think it's important to hear from your queen if she's eligible to give some information. Some ain't eligible, and some people don't want to help. They want the king to just be the only person making moves, but I don't think it should be that, because personally, let me say this to you. I've been in relationships, and when I come as, I want to be an asset. And I'm not trying to say I'm trying to give them something, but I want, and I'm not saying they're trying to give me something, but we should be an asset to each other. Yeah, but I got assets, right? And so when I come to the table, though, right, I don't want to be in a situation where we're not doing something together. Like, in other words, we don't have to do everything together, but there should be something in this relationship that's standing out, that we're a team. So, and what I mean by that is, you're talking to someone, maybe you want to build a business together. Maybe they have ideas what you could do to your business to better it. Maybe they give you ideas of bad choices you're making, because guess what? We all make a bad choice. In business, I've made bad choices. I had to sit back and reflect. Maybe somebody came and gave me some game that was of the opposite sex, because a man may see it differently than a woman, and vice versa. A woman is more nurturing and got this other side. A man is more like, hey, you should have did it like this. Forget all that sentimental stuff. You feel me? This is more firm, And I think a man and a woman, if they have that going, they can give to each other, is all I'm saying.
Okay, that's fair. Aisha, can I ask, Aisha, if you're in here right now, can you type in, because just based off of your name, I'm assuming that you're Muslim. I don't want to say it like back in the 60s, Muslim. He's with the black Muslims. Aisha, are you a Muslim? I'm waiting to you was typing fast as hell before.
Come on, Aisha.
Come on, Aisha. Are you Muslim, sister?
You're the girl.
Aisha Thomas.
Aisha.
You are the girl I never had.
Aisha.
I just feel like you.
Let me just say this. I believe what Aisha said.
She said, yes, I am.
Okay,
She's
cool.
Sunni Muslim.
So I believe what Aisha said makes sense within that culture.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Right?
Right.
But it doesn't make sense within American culture. That's not an American ideology.
Right.
If you just look at money today, you really need 2 incomes.
Absolutely.
So the whole, I'ma sit at the crib, that changed in the 80s. The 80s were 40-some years ago. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, that mentality is old. And oftentimes, a lot of people are stuck with old ideas. It doesn't mean, look at the idea as a puzzle piece. Mm-hmm. When that piece fit, right, back in the day, it made sense. But now that piece is out of place.
Right.
It's like, now you've heard the stats, you see the numbers. Nobody wants to deal with the real numbers.
Right.
Right? 83 million households in America are white households.
Mm-hmm.
They're worth $100 trillion. Now, of that $100 trillion, 20 trillion is liquid.
Wow.
Black people have 20 million households in America and is worth $6 trillion. And of that $6 trillion, only 350 billion is liquid. So now ask yourself the question, how does your relationship work with an idea like, you go do it, and I'm gonna pour spirit prayer on you, and spirit praise the house. And I'm not saying that don't work, because I'm a big proponent of prayer and spirituality and all that. But I'm saying in a realistic way, how does that work with the numbers for today?
With the numbers for today, she better be praying on her way to work for you.
Pray for me on your way
To work.
to your job.
Right. And we pray for each other on our way to work.
Right.
We blessing each other here, baby. It's
Hey, that's a
all oil.
hell of a relationship ritual.
Yes, pray for
Yeah,
each other
why
on the way
not?
to work.
Before we go to work,
Bless the house immensely.
let's have devotion.
Yes.
And pray for our success, for our abundance, for our prosperity.
Right.
But you don't get to sit home.
No.
No.
You take your Bible on the way to work in the car. You got
Lunch
audio
break.
books and all of that. You can listen to the scripture on your way. Just go to work.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we live in a different time.
But see, in the 50s, that's what it was. My grandmother never worked. My grandparents were married 74 years. My grandmother didn't have to work, but she worked because she wanted to when she did.
When did your grandmama live?
She died in 2010 at 98.
My grandmother died at 98 or 88. Big mama.
Yeah, it was different.
That's a different time.
Right.
I can stay at home and master the exact moment to take the tomato soup off the eye.
But these children don't have that. They think like the 1950s. At least I listen to these younger people talk, and they still have that ideology in their head. But the reality is, like you said, this generation is different. They want old-fashioned rules to a new millennial lifestyle, and it's not gonna mix.
Well, maybe that's their hustle.
But the reality is, the same house you got on 59th and Crenshaw, for an example, was back in the 80s or 90s. You might have got it for $300,000. That same house is worth $1 million right now. So we're talking about the times. We're talking about time is changing. Everything doesn't cost the same. Back then, things alter themselves.
But why don't they cost the same? Is it because things have grown in worth, or is it because the opposite, things have lost value?
Well, they're acting like the houses are adding value, which is making you have to spend more money, so it's all a trick in the system. And also, back in the day when you had blue-collar jobs, you could make enough money to take care of your family. You could work at the warehouse and make enough money to somehow take care of you and your wife and your 3 kids.
So
but
Mimi, you hitting on a couple of very powerful points.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Because you get on a roll, and you adding so much here. I want to add on real quick.
Go ahead, please.
The dollar is losing value.
Yes, it is.
So it's not worth the same it was before.
Right, absolutely.
So a $300,000 house back in the 80s, and now it's worth $1 million. You think, oh, that shit has gained $700,000, but really it's $1 million because the dollar has gone down. So you need more dollars. This is why you see people with absorbent amounts of money right now. Oh, this motherfucker Bezos got what? $185 billion? Well, wait a minute, my nigga. What is equivalent to that back in the day? It's less money,
right?
But it has the same equivalence. Do you get what I'm saying? The bottom line is, especially with black people, how do you build when systems, you've had economic redlining, black people can't get loans and all this other weird shit. You've had real estate redlining, you can't live in this neighborhood because of whatever. It's been all types of contrivances and, like Mimi said, traps to keep you down. I'm asking y'all, what does building mean when you ain't got shit? And how do you get from nothing to something? Mimi?
Well, first of all, I've been in a place in my life where it was like, okay, you raising a kid and maybe the job you had didn't work out. So, hey, you're at a point where you got nothing and you need to find something. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pray about it and you're going to decide to go in the right direction for your path, what that is for you. Whatever business or whatever, you got a goal, a hobby, something somebody offer. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm speaking in general for everyone, but I'm talking about me at the same time. I'm going to figure out what it is I need to do. Once I figure out what that is, I'm going to work at that thing. I'm going to go after the job, if it's in the resume, whatever it is to try to get out of this predicament. So if I have nothing, I need to find a way to get something. So at this day and time, hey, go make some masks. Go make a new type of mask. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Find what it is that's needed in your neighborhood. Maybe they don't have the ice cream truck. Maybe you can go push around a little thing and say, ice cream. I don't know. Whatever works out that you see works in your community. And for me, when I was in predicaments where I needed to get money, and believe me, I'm doing well, but I wasn't always doing well. And didn't anyone hand this over to me. Right. So I had to work hard, right? And I had to find out what path to take and be serious about it and run a race. And in a race, you don't look at the other competitors. You look at the end result, where you're going. You don't look in the rear view mirror and see where you been. You see where you going. The rear view is the back. You need to look at in front of you, just like racehorses. You're going to have blinders on. You see nothing but where you're going. And that's what you do. And you still succeed.
I like it. I like it. Donnie? I don't want to call you Donnie. I want to call you Peaches.
Call me whatever.
Thank you.
Just don't call me anything like crazy bitch, nothing like that. But
you are okay.
I know I can be, but for real though, in this climate, especially with hyperinflation coming, a lot of people are not prepared for what's coming to America right now. We have something going on called hyperinflation because they're just doling out money like we have it like that.
But that's what inflation is.
Yeah, but now it's going to be hyperinflation, which is worse than inflation because it's going to be some kickback from it. A lot of people are going to have to pay back taxes and shit, you know, that they got out of this unemployment. They thinking they rolling in dough right now, but they're going to have to pay a lot of this back. So in this climate, the only way to build in a relationship is by patience, understanding, trust, love, spirituality, and trusting each other with the truth when it comes to finance.
I'm going to ask a real serious question here. Regardless of what I just said, I need to ask this. The slaves prayed to Jesus, but so did the slave master. They was praying to the same Jesus. Now, the way the slaves were treated, seems like Jesus and them was on Team Whitey. Let me just.
But Jesus was treated bad too.
Don't let this fool finish.
Wait, let me finish.
Here come that bullshit.
Okay, go ahead.
During the civil rights, we marched and did all types of shit, and Jesus and them was at the forefront.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, I'm gonna let you finish and then I'm gonna tell you why.
And it seems like we got a bad deal then too. Let me finish.
Okay.
Because remember the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, you know, when he recanted that conversation that Harry Belafonte and MLK had. MLK said, I feel like I'm integrating my people into a burning house. but he led with Jesus, right? I'm just asking this question. Let me ask. Just let me land.
Okay, Boo Capone.
Right? There was prayer there. There was prayer during the march. Is this the same prayer we gonna use to help the relationship? Is the result gonna be the same? We didn't get good results. Some people will say, yeah, we got hella results with this. Yes, I'm painting a picture.
Okay.
Some people say we got hella good results with the civil rights movement. You know, the voting bill, the Voting Act and all of that, which has to be updated all the time because, they from time to time they think, oh, well, maybe we can take their voting right away. So it's not like MLK's work led to something that was permanent in our society. That's something that got to still be renewed. And you saw what Georgia did recently with their voting bill. Because they don't want no more, you ain't gonna never turn Georgia back into a blue state. So they changed the voting rights. So I'm just asking, are we saying the same prayers in our relationships that we say in our politics, that we say in our civil rights demonstrations, that we said during slavery, or is it something different?
Let me tell you this about slavery.
And don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to me like you finna jump over the table and be, let me tell you something. Hold on.
Let Big Mama tell you something. No, but during slavery, that same Jesus that they were praying to is the same slave songs they sung that were Christian songs today that got us to freedom. So yes, they might have been enslaved, but that same Jesus that them whiteys was talking to was showing us how to get the fuck up out of there and make a way north. So yeah, that little light of theirs, they was letting it shine. So whoa. Now, as far as the relationship is concerned, it took faith to get to the freedom. They had to believe in Jesus to get that faith to the freedom. That's what Harriet Tubman depended on. God directing her. If you watch Harriet's story or read Harriet's story, it's all about her conversations with God to lead us to freedom through those songs that the white man put in our head.
Sounds deep.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good, sounds smart.
Same thing with relationships. We have to take faith in each other as individuals, as a couple, to know that we're not going to lead our mate into a dark place.
So here's the thing.
Bam. There it is.
Harriet Tubman, leading, look at Mimi, and they're like, yes, girl, hallelujah. So I'm just saying, so you mean to tell me God led Harriet Tubman via the vehicle of her faith?
Yep.
I would then ask, why would God put Harriet Tubman and all them slaves in that position in the first place, only to lead Harriet out of it?
We ain't gonna go.
And did she really lead them out of it? Because the North was fucked up too.
We ain't gonna. That's a whole other show.
But that's a fair question. We talk about building. Let's build. You think about it, Mimi, go on.
I was just going to say that's how they treated Jesus as well. I mean, so at the end of the day, that's why I always say Jesus is black, because we get treated like Jesus. I mean, think about it.
Thank you.
B for being, you say you the Messiah. They didn't beat
Christopher,
him, spit at him. What?
Christopher Perkins is he said to test their faith.
Yeah. This to test their faith.
God ain't no goddamn teacher.
Hey, listen.
Let me administer a motherfucking test. Wait a minute, I thought you was all-knowing. If God is all-knowing, he doesn't need to administer a test. Mimi?
First of all, we are the chosen. That's why we go through the most. Because the reason I say that is because look at Jesus. And Jesus, they beat him. They did all types of things to him. What he went through, I couldn't personally say I could go through that. You feel me? I'm walking, they doing all these things. They say that this happened, right? Mm-hmm. Now, this is supposed to be the one and only true living Son of God. He's come down here and he's being treated bad like this. So in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, right? That's the same way that we get treated as being colored people. You know what I mean? So I believe that, you know, there's just so many other things that we don't understand that's involved. And what I'm trying to say is we are the chosen ones. And so that's why we go through that's why they want to be like us. They want to do everything we're doing except for be us. They don't want to take the responsibility of driving down the street and being a black man worried about being pulled over. But you want to get lips like us, you want butt like us, you want to twerk like us, you want to get braids like us. And you want to say it was your idea. They want to say the Kardashians made up the braids. Is you kidding me? You know how many people have been wearing braids?
Don't pull your gun out.
No,
just take it easy,
Mimi. The realest thing I can tell you, like, you feel me? I mean, I'm just saying some real stuff. Like, at the end of the day, I just think we're chosen, and that's why our struggle is big. Anytime you have a blessing, anytime there's always struggle within, and I just feel like we're chosen. Jesus was black, and we black. And Donnie got something
a little
to say.
bit.
No.
I think a little bit different.
Oh, talk to me.
I think because you're chosen, the people who aren't chosen have somewhat of a spiritual mandate to whoop on you.
And that's them.
But I don't think you have to get whooped on because you're chosen.
Well,
This is what I mean by that.
Okay.
Like, because it seems like what you're saying is, well, shit, Jesus was chosen. He was the only son of God, and getting whooped on was part of his whole purpose. And being chosen, you got to get downtrodden. Okay. I just think being downtrodden by those who aren't chosen is just insecurity, inferiority, and that's just jealousy and envy. And well, fuck it, I just need to attack you because I want to be you, and I think you're better than me, and all that. I think that's just a byproduct of that, and I don't think that is ubiquitous. I don't think that happens across the board.
No.
Because there are some people that just be like, well, shit, nigga, can I just sit next to you and learn?
Right, because we wouldn't be.
Right?
Yeah.
Let me just say this. It's really predicated on whose version of belief and spirituality and all of that shit, because I believe when you build in a successful relationship, it has to have a spiritual cornerstone.
Yeah.
Right.
But I need to know who's the author of the spiritual cornerstone.
Right, I get you.
If I'm using the white man's version that he used to ascend to power, does that mean I can ascend to power with his version?
I don't believe black people use the version that the white man used, per se. I mean, the Bible is the Bible, but the way the word is received is two different things.
Get her, Mimi.
The way the word is taught is two
don't let her
different
just
ways.
sit there and say that shit, Mimi.
That's the way the word is taught. God wanted us.
Get your home girl, Mimi.
This But I believe that black people have our own, like the way you like, what is it, IFA that you study? Is it
Why
called?
you telling my business?
Well, nigga, what is it called then? I'm just saying. Whatever the Shakala Zulu you fucks with, I fucks with Jesus.
I'm finna fall out this chair.
You know what?
Oh my God. No, it's not that simple. We try to make it that simple, but it's not. And just as I'm saying, the version of Christianity or Islam or Judaism or whatever the fuck you believe, right, has come through the hands of the oppressor.
That is true.
Right.
It's translations, it's hermeneutics, it's exegesis, all its translations and interpretations, right, come through their filter. But so does the money game.
Yep.
You know what hyperinflation is? It's releasing more dollars into the market.
And already inflated.
The dollar is worth more when there is a smaller amount of dollars in circulation. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? Wouldn't we be more if there was less his version out there of spirituality, right?
A white man's.
The white man's interpretation. Wouldn't we be more powerful? Like the dollar is more powerful when there's a smaller amount?
But see, the white man's spirituality is that's Catholicism and whatever they want to implant on people.
That's Christianity.
But Christians, believers that believe in Christ, don't live by those society. The real Christians, they don't. I don't live by those rules.
Are the real Christians like real Crips?
Basically,
where
we
these
thugs.
niggas? What hood they in?
We believe. You don't need
They got
all of
Crip
that.
pastors. They
You
got
don't
Crip
need all of.
pastors
You don't need
and
to
blood
go.
ones.
And I don't believe in
What
no
hood
white
are the
Jesus.
real Christians
I know who
in?
Jesus was. I know who Yeshua was. I don't need the white man to tell me who he was. I could read their same book and get black stuff out of that same book they were impressing on black people as white. That same shit that slaves was teaching their kids the right way too. There was an Ephah nigga in there. There was an
Ephah nigga?
There was one up in there. There was one in the slave dens, in the slave quarters, like, no, come here now. Because you know they still had African accents. Don't listen to him. That's what they were telling them.
Okay, so look, I'm gonna pull it up right now because I gotta stop Peaches because
I'm just saying,
it will
nigga.
progressively get more and more ignorant in this motherfucker if I don't do this. And I think I did this the last time we had a conversation like this because I just want to know, how do we build? Spirituality is a cornerstone, right, of that building process. There is a documentary on YouTube. Watch the whole fucking thing. It's in 2 parts. It's called the Black Church episode, right? Or the Black Church documentary, right? And it comes episode 1, Black Church with Henry Gates, episode 2.
I meant to watch that. I meant to watch that.
Yes, it was on PBS. Now, in that, it talks about our African traditions. It talks about those old black churches that had both symbols of Ifa, Yoruba, whatever you want to call it, as well as Islam. Because some of those slaves were Muslim slaves too. And all of that was integrated into our spiritual expression. But it was ours. But when you watch this whole documentary, it talks about the infiltration of white Christians changing all of that by using converted black preachers from the north coming down to the south. See, again, would we be more successful for the spiritual component of black relationships, healthy black relationships, if we went back to what's ours? That's number 1. Number 2, if we're looking at society, everything we talk about society is some shit they said we were supposed to have. So that means we strive to hit benchmarks in society that we didn't write.
Yeah,
we did not orchestrate that. But that's part of our drive to be successful. So what happens? Because I know Christians feel some kind of way when you hear that there's an LGBT Bible. Yeah, a rainbow Bible.
Wow.
So a traditional Christian might sit back and go, what the you get to just change it? Yep. So what happens? That's the spiritual component that relationships need to thrive. So what happens when the societal component says, you know what? The 5 families that make up the 1% of the world, we're tired of America. They had their run. We're tired of their dollar. Let's take their dollar off the international standard. So when they change the game that you've been conditioned to aspire to, what does your life mean when they change that game? Because that game is being changed as we speak. That's why the dollar is losing money all the time. So when they changed the dollar game, you remember before the dollar was the international currency, right? What was it?
The gold standard.
No, it wasn't.
Silver standard.
It was the sterling silver
the
out of
silver.
the UK. That was the #1 currency in the world. So what happens?
People have to learn how to adjust. That's what's going to happen. We always adjust.
But if you're adjusting to something that you didn't write, are you free?
In this society, no, we are not free.
So if you're not free, how can you talk about faith?
How can I talk about faith? Because I have faith and I know. I don't. What do you mean if you're not free? Faith.
Explain it to me.
If a man in prison right now on death row that got faith, he gonna get off of that death row. Is somebody believing right now on his knees asking the Lord to pardon him right now?
Is the Lord the warden?
I'm just going.
Mimi, get her. You cannot let her just sit there and say things like this. This is why, that's the spiritual component, right? That's the spiritual component. Every relationship, in my estimation, needs a spiritual component that allows you to have direct contact with the higher source, period. Develop that. But make sure it's an expression of your knowledge of self and not a translation of someone else. Why? Why? Because societies only work when they have people believing in their standards and principles and beliefs. Okay, let me ask you a question. Earlier, right? Maybe a couple months ago, they say, oh, we got this motherfucking vaccine ready. And what was the immediate response of black people?
I ain't taking it.
A lot of people's like, what? Ready already?
Yeah.
What you mean, ready? Yeah, this shit ready.
For your black ass.
Right?
And we're going to bring it to you in your neighborhood.
So now Johnson & Johnson just recalled theirs.
Yeah, they
Because-
was killing people.
Yeah. Do you know there's still niggas on Instagram right now taking pictures like they just voted for Kamala and Joe Biden saying, I got my vaccination. Now, the news is already out there. The vaccination does not prevent you from getting it again. The news just came out recently that says you may, yes, blood clotting from the Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah.
Some people died.
Exactly.
Pfizer killing people too.
Now look, they said the news just came out about the vaccination. You may need a third one.
A booster.
A booster.
From Moderna.
So wait a minute. Faith. Niggas is in their own faith.
No, they not on faith.
Yes, they are.
No, they not.
You know, yes, they are.
A nigga who don't go is on the faith.
Thank
That
you.
nigga like
We
me.
on faith.
No, that
I'm
nigga
on
ain't on
faith.
faith. That's knowledge.
Yeah, I'm on faith and
That's faith.
and knowledge. You know why it's faith
Faith
too? Because
is your knowledge.
I believe that I don't have to do it to be okay. Like I'm not gonna
Thank
do it.
you.
So I believe my faith is that
I
I will
just
be
go around
protected
niggas like
no
this.
matter what. Well, I figured all their asses got it while I need it. That's all I'm trying to say. If 100 of them got it,
What I'm saying is, do you believe that you have more power in your being when you're the author of your self-knowledge?
Rephrase.
When you look at white people, white people acting the fuck out because they have knowledge of self.
Because they have knowledge that the rest of they white people go protect them
Look,
from they bullshit. Yep.
white people be looking like, what do you mean? I can't believe this. Yeah, nigga, everything that's happening in society is by your pen. They are authoring this reality. What is the highest standard of wealth? Is it black or white? In the world.
White people have more money than us.
What is the highest standard of success? What is the highest standard of prosperity? It's If the dollar,
they had a head start.
So the point I'm saying is,
a big one.
If you live in their society, the construct that their minds created.
Yeah, the society we live in, the sick one we live in.
You chasing what they said is the key, right? Now ask yourself a question. For most people in this society, in this type of society, when you really delve into what it means to be you, you find a level of strength that it brings an awareness that I ain't never got to worry about what another motherfucker gonna ever say about me.
That's where faith, that's faith.
No, I know, it's knowledge of self. This is who I am. White people are saying that now. This is who we are. Mm-hmm. I'm scared of niggas. So I'll shoot a nigga if I tell him, put your hands out the car and don't resist. Do you understand? That's their ethos. That's what they've created. That's their pathology. They're living out their knowledge of self. We are trying to be what they are. Just to be honest. What the fuck are niggas doing in Bali? Saint-Tropez. Let me do it another way. Why niggas in Saint-Tropez?
I think they may want to see different parts of the world.
What the fuck are niggas doing at the Louvre? They not there academically. Let's just keep that 1,000.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me...
They work there.
What they doing at the Louvre?
They're not looking at art.
Well, this is the thing. You could look at it two different ways. You could say the niggas belong in the hood. Why are they over here in the Louvre when they should be in the hood? So
they at work.
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying there's two ways to look. I'm not saying you're saying. I'm just saying it's 10 ways to look at it, right? So it could be the person in the hood. It could be the person in New York. The person across the country, right?
Uh-huh.
I just think that some people like to enjoy other experiences in the world. And then there's some people that are happier in their own community.
Agreed, but we're not talking about them people
what you talking
who want to travel and it's an academic pursuit. We're not talking about them.
We're talking about the copycatters.
And that's the majority of us.
Right,
Oftentimes in these conversations, it turns into, and we had to create that word, some banal.
Right, no, I get you.
But that's where I'm talking about these specific people, which make up the majority of our people.
Right, I get it.
We do not have knowledge of self.
No, we don't.
And most of our time, energy, and effort is predicated on reaching a level that is concomitant with white success.
I agree.
Yeah, we're always chasing that because that's all we were raised to see is this is what we want, the house. Okay, you got the house. The white people got this. We want that. We're going to always be that because black people are always going to want what whitey has. But real self-knowledge to black people are not going after. You're not going after that bullshit. I'm not going after that bullshit. We know that we going to be all right because we came from nothing and we still got nothing.
Right. So look, with major corporations filing bankruptcy because of COVID, and yes, there are some out there who got the EIDL and all this other stuff. There are some out there who got millions of dollars from that as well. But many corporations have filed for bankruptcy.
Yes.
Many.
And the prognosis is that many of the black-owned corporations are never coming back.
True.
Because of COVID. So now that brings us back to the initial point of this conversation. There was a spiritual component that we talked about. Can the relationship really flourish if you're using another man's interpretation of spirituality? A conqueror? A slave master? Well, what is your relationship going to be comprised of with no dollar? With no wealth?
It's going to be comprised of patience, faith,
and a lot of arguing. No, I'm just playing.
a lot of planning. It's gonna take planning because you gotta plan how you gonna get that food in your mouth. How you gotta plan because the world is turning into something that people aren't ready for anyway. We think we comfortable right now. It's coming to a time where we might have to flee from our homes. People don't realize how serious this society or how sick It really, truly is. Right now, you selling books. Tomorrow, you might be throwing your book at a nigga trying to steal your money or your food. You know, life is gonna...
I'm gonna have a hot dog and throw a book at him. I'll sock a nigga in the head before I throw a book. You believe that? The fuck?
Nigga, that hot dog gonna be your source.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that, you know, in my opinion, of course, I'm not 100% right, but I think we're in the middle of a wealth transfer. See, to me, let me tell you something. Whenever there's destruction, right, everything has to be rebuilt. So if you put yourself in a position, then you could be on the other side. They're trying to make it either you're rich or you're poor. They don't want you to have the middle class. So what this is doing is getting rid of the middle class. So either you're going to get to the wealthier side or you get on the poorer side. The reason I'm saying that is because they want to have a one world order. They want to have everything under a new jurisdiction, and all this is a plan. That's why they want them to get the vaccinations. This is all doing something to their antibodies. This is making them make other decisions. Hey, you never know, they might have control over you in so many different ways. They have pieces of you now, and it's so many components. So in my opinion, if you are getting loans, if you do have money, this is a time, I'm not saying what to do with your money, but this is a time of wealth transfer. I'm telling you, people that didn't have money before, hey, people said a pandemic, but there's people that got more in their accounts right now through the pandemic than they had before the pandemic. Exactly. Say what you want to say. I know it to be a fact. That's true. I also know that when the places close, that's an opportunity for us. So the restaurant is closed, Ruth Chris is gone, no one wants this place. It's been sitting here for a year. This is your time to come in and say, hey, I like to get this place. This would be great for my XYZ. So I'm just saying it's a interesting time, and we just have to position ourselves during the time. So the encouraging thing is position yourself.
Yeah, plan,
okay,
execute.
So
right.
Mimi said a lot of stuff that I agree and disagree with.
Okay, talk to me.
Ruth Chris, because I think that's a good idea. Hey, you know, Ruth Chris went out of business, right? Okay, this restaurant building is still up. Let's get it. Emphasis on let's.
The let's, plural.
Because ain't no one nigga finna go get that Ruth Chris building.
No, absolutely. But
so the part that I agree with is sure, let's get the building. But there has to be a let's.
Right.
And dealing with niggas.
Right.
And the dysfunction that we've inherited.
Right.
Just understand, dysfunction is ubiquitous, right? Dysfunction is in every relationship. Even in healthy relationships, there's a modicum of dysfunction, right? Even in healthy relationships still gotta fucking, work through things, right? Don't cough in here again. That's it. Right? But I'm saying, on top of that, we've got the dysfunction that comes from this sick society, right?
Right.
And I'm supposed to be business partners with these people?
No, I get that. And when I said the restaurant, that was just an example. You could get a bookstore, you could get a hole-in-the-wall t-shirt stand. All I'm saying is find something and do something, because we sit back and look at what everybody else is doing and talk about what everybody else is doing. If we do something, we can do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where my head is. I know a couple of people that have money, and if we all come together, you have this investor coming. What did you say he does? Because I would love to hear his information.
His ass was supposed to be here.
Okay, see, that type of stuff would help us all, because we all need to position ourselves really for, the next step.
So let me tell you what he does, because he's that guy. He's out of Pasadena, right? He got a $3 million building that he owns in Pasadena. He does, there it is right there, Sylvie Taylor. He was on the show before.
Okay.
Right? Financial services with Sylvie Taylor. He owns a $2 million house by the Rose Bowl.
He look like it.
He got bread. His shit is tight. He is a top financial advisor for NBA, NFL, MLB, actors, whatever. But that nigga right there, he's my brother. I know him. I love him to death. He's good people. That brother right there, he's only for people with money.
Okay.
You got to start with money to have a conversation with Isilfi.
Right.
Right.
Isilfi is not, let me show you how to put these pebbles together.
Right.
He's not that.
Exactly.
He's, oh, you got this cracking? Let me show you what I can do
Right.
with what that is.
Right.
That part. That's what I'm talking about. I like that.
So, yeah, I wanted to bring Isilfi on for people so he could give you some basic concepts and tenets, right? One of the things he's going to tell you to do is get life insurance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is where the crossroad meets. Okay, I'm gonna go get life insurance. My mother had life insurance on and off my whole childhood. Keywords, on and off.
Right.
Because she couldn't afford it.
Right.
Right.
She had the right mindset.
But not the
I
money.
need insurance for my kids in the event that something happens to me. She had the right idea,
Right.
but she couldn't afford it. So when Tone Talks comes in and says, hey, did you know the middle black family in Boston, if you take out the fucking car and the depreciable items in their home is worth $8 liquid? It's $200 liquid in California. Mimi mentioned a wealth transfer. She's right. The largest wealth transfer in history is happening right now.
No, it definitely
Right.
is.
But it's not happening to black people.
Oh, no,
Not
I'm
at
not
all.
saying, no, not all the, no. But let me say, it's not happening for black people, but black people are getting stuff they never got before. It's not a big thing.
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not a wealth transfer like that. But what I'm saying is I know a lot of friends, okay, that have gotten at least 50, 100,000, this amount, that from getting their businesses getting loans and stuff. So all I'm saying is, I'm not saying a huge one. I'm just saying, if you have lemons, you make lemonade. So if you got a little money, make some lemonade, sell the lemonade. You know, that's just a metaphor because I like to use metaphors. But the point I'm making is that I think it's an opportunity for all of us if we try.
And I would say this: it's not only an opportunity for all of us, but we would have to get over this societal sickness that we have that makes us envious and competitive of one another.
True.
That part.
That
Right?
part.
And then work together, and then it makes, like what you're
True.
saying makes sense. See, and I'm not here, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not here to say Mimi is wrong or Peaches is wrong. I'm not here to say that. What I'm here to say is, oftentimes, we'll have these lofty aspirations without knowing where the ground is.
Exactly.
No, I agree.
So the ground is saying $200 liquid in LA, $8 liquid in Boston. That's what the ground is saying.
Right.
So if the ground is saying that, how do we build from brokenness? First off, the relationships go beyond just intimate relationships.
Right.
We have community relationships that we're going to have to now foster.
Right.
Listen, do you know, y'all know this, but it's different for y'all because you guys are mature women.
So.
A little mature.
Listen, the moment a young girl in today's society find out that she's a baddie, she is on the road to passive-aggressive prostitution.
Oh, she's already starting as soon as
Right.
she get a good look in that mirror at her booty.
Now, who was that little rapper girl who did the goddamn OnlyFans and in 6 minutes or some shit made $1 million?
Wasn't that Cardi B that broke the internet?
No,
or
it was
want
some new
somebody
little
else?
rapper girl.
I don't know.
Look it up, Sarah. You right there.
I don't know.
It's a rapper girl who's fucking OnlyFans. Now, back in the day, like in y'all day, man, y'all just beautiful women. I know my uncles
Thank
went
you.
crazy, like, go get her a drink. Let me go talk to her. Yeah. You understand? I'm just saying, beautiful women. It was,
Bad Barbie.
Bad Barbie.
Never heard of it.
And what was it like? In an hour or some shit? In the first few minutes?
Was she naked on there or something?
Earning more than $1 million in just under 6 hours.
Was
in
she
just
naked?
under 6 hours.
Was she naked?
I don't know. He's not saying that.
I mean,
Do you
she
see
had
what I'm
to show
saying?
her titty or something.
So that's what Bad Barbie did. Beauty is now currency for society. Because remember, money is like the gun, right? In the streets, niggas used to fight.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how you developed a pecking order. We gonna fight, and whoever win, whoever lose, and usually whoever wins or loses still remains friends, but the pecking order has been established, right?
Right.
Okay. Then the gun came.
Changed
And then
everything.
the niggas who used to get beat the fuck up became the hardest niggas because they could shoot a nigga.
Right.
From
they
a
didn't
distance.
care about taking a
They
life.
they not throwing hands. So that's the great equalizer. Well, that analogy fits money. Money is the great equalizer to get the baddie.
Right.
What did 50 Cent say? Get the money, the hoes come with that.
Right. That's part of
That's
the
the
package.
great equalizer in this society.
True.
So, if you're gonna build from brokenness or from brokenness, if your pocket is a reflection of your spirit, then you might be able to make some money if you try to heal yourself.
Right.
But that shit is intangible. Come on in here, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
Uncle Bobby has joined
Hi,
us.
Bobby.
How you doing?
You don't want to know. Not really.
No, but to me that's an intangible request. Bobby just got here. Let me catch Bobby up on what we talking about. We talking about the wealth gap and its impact on black love. How to build black relationships from brokenness, a general sense of lack. Now, Mimi has done a stalwart job at giving examples of how there are opportunities out there for black people to come together and work together and grow,
Try something new.
right? And I've just been hitting the stats and the information. The Westfield Mall is getting ready to be sold by its French parent company because nobody's in the mall. They're losing money. The ArcLight just closed because nobody's going to the movies. They're losing money. And I'm saying these are corporations that black people, and this is gonna hurt, we don't recycle our dollars with Bobby Glanton or with Mimi or with Peaches. We go to the Westfield Mall. We go to Fox Hills Mall, right? So if the corporations that we've been feeding financially are going out of business, what does that say for the consumers that spend there? I'm saying black people have to find a way to build from within in order to escape this brokenness. But I think that inner brokenness is a reflection of the wallet being broke. Bobby, your thoughts?
Well, we hustling backwards, and it's really sad because we didn't always succumb to adversity the way that we do now. And
there we go.
It's the way I see it, this is the way I understand it, this is the way I have lived 66 years and known about times in human existence where people that look like us made the world a wonderful place to be. And it's been so long ago that we can't see the relevance of looking backwards in order to go forwards. Because love stands on its own.
Look at this.
Now, it ain't gonna be that big a crowd, but it stands on its own. And so when you start talking about love and money, those are two different conversations.
Yeah.
If you're using a very narrow definition of the word love, because it speaks for itself.
Love doesn't need an interpreter.
Nah.
When you got the real speaks for itself.
Perpetrators of love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Talk to me, Bobby.
I mean, they own every medium that we have, radio, television, folks talking about love, and they just rotten as hell.
Right.
I ain't
Full
going
of hate.
I ain't going for it.
And that's all that I'm trying to say. I'm saying I believe that love is on the other end of their standards.
Right. I get it.
So if they create a standard for you to live, like let me give it, Bobby will give you this example better than me. Bobby, the man that is invisible, nobody sees him, and he built an empire, but he had to stay low while doing it. You know what I'm talking about, right?
It's several of them actually, but yeah.
But you know who I'm referencing.
Yeah. You know, I know him. I don't know him. He's a ghost to me too, but I know him.
Yeah.
I know him very well.
You see, sometimes in order to succeed in this society, we got to be quiet about it.
To a degree.
Talk to me, Bobby.
His brilliance, the guy that we're going to just leave out of the conversation, put around him a team that made it obvious that this is different because black people are breaking up the biggest pieces of the pie and some history making money. I'm talking billions of dollars in plain view.
In plain sight.
Yeah, you send the money to watch what they put on that screen into the billions of dollars. All right. And by the time they get through scratching their head, they done went to coke 2 or 3 times when the white folk found out, man, them niggas got that money now, man.
Right.
They got the bag. How do we get it back? So they went to court and they lost. Bob Arum lost. Oscar De La Hoya lost.
Yeah.
Right?
So-
and no one is saying it's impossible to do.
Well, it
But
is
you-
if you don't get out of your own way.
But you mentioned the key word for me, and that was team.
Well, that's what a team is. The object is to win, right?
Yeah.
You can't do it by yourself.
I said that.
No, you didn't.
I did. I said it takes patience, trust, and a plan. And you got to plan together. If you are us, you are we. I said all that, and you said, what the hell you talking about?
You didn't say
But because
team.
Bobby
Just 'cause we
said-
together don't mean we a team.
I said if you on the same level. Mimi said the
You
same
didn't
thing.
say team. I don't. We saying team. Did she say team or we together? Which one?
Same thing.
Well, I be talking about people being on teams.
Look at you.
See, you supposed to have my
I'm
back.
just-
This is about
She
winning.
like, get under the bus.
Right.
This is about winning, or we wasting our time?
we, in other words, we said different words, but it meant a similar thing is what
Let's
she's
talk about
saying.
time. Don't waste it. You know?
Don't waste it.
Yeah.
Get an understanding, and then do what you need to do.
Right.
Sometimes you need to just turn left.
So with the economic perils that are going on right now, Bobby,
The who?
economic perils.
All the bullshit.
Wait a minute. They just got a different name. It's always been those with and those without.
There we go. So we the withouts in greater numbers than they are.
What's new about that?
So my question to you now is, how do we build a successful relationship under those conditions?
Well, first thing you do is realize it's not going to be possible unless there's some very basic understanding. What are we going to do consistently that will change our condition?
I like that. Can
And
you give us
can't confuse that with feelings. Either you're in agreement on that or you just burning up time. Because you'll never accomplish that until that's the driving force in your existence. Because if you're with somebody for the right reason, they get it. They happy to be with you because they finally around somebody that's willing to admit, this is what I'm doing with my time, this is what I'm doing with my life.
Well, let's ask these ladies this, and then Bobby is going to clean it up afterwards.
I don't like that smile on his face.
That ain't necessary.
I don't like that smile.
Clean this up.
Clean this up, Zoe.
No, Bobby is my cleanup hitter.
No,
Okay.
I'm not your
Look.
cleanup hitter, man. I ain't come
It's
here
all
to
right,
clean up
Bobby.
your
We gonna
shit.
take it out on him.
So what are the first steps for a black couple who's struggling financially, right, to build a relationship from nothing to something? What are the first steps they should take?
A black couple that just met and they both broke.
They're together.
Oh, they're together already.
This is a black couple that's together.
Okay.
And they recognize we ain't got nothing.
They need to find out
Well,
who's.
when did they recognize that?
Yeah, exactly.
Early.
And they ain't changed.
So what is
yet.
step one to turning that around?
Step one is to sit there together and break down their finances and see who the fuck up is. If one spends more than the other.
Well, I'm just saying, well, they both relatively have nothing.
Yeah, but if they both relatively have nothing, then that means and if they still struggling, you got to have a plan to get out the struggle.
I'm asking you, what is the plan?
The
Step
plan
one
is
in
to
the
break
plan.
down your finances and your goals together.
Okay.
That
this
is
is
the
our
plan.
goal. So a goal board.
Yeah, you need a plan to have a goal board. First, you got to have a plan.
Okay.
Then you got to have a plan to have a goal board, and you got to be realistic about it financially.
Okay.
And know who's going to make the sacrifice, because somebody's going to have to sacrifice to get out of the situation.
Somebody in here said find innate skills. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said evaluate lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Pete, Mimi, your thoughts? What's step one for you?
Step one, we need to figure out how do we get out this situation. So if we both have absolutely nothing, then we need to figure out so I know how to braid hair, so maybe I'm gonna start braiding hair. Maybe I'm gonna make a sign and put it around the neighborhood, do a Craigslist, let people know, Facebook, Instagram, hey, I braid hair. I got a deal every Tuesday, 2 braids for $20, whatever it is, so I can get the hustle going. Because I know there's a bunch of people braiding. I need to stand out. I need money. So I need to be a good, but a deal. Because I need to have people talking about this thing. I don't need to be high. Like, they don't want to come to my house and it's high. So my point is figure out a plan and then execute it. Whatever he does, he needs to execute that.
Offering that skill set to the community.
Whatever the skill set is. He's good at watering grasses and shit. You need to go on and mow some lawns, and we need to get some lawnmowers, and maybe that could be your business. Oh, we can't do that. Maybe we can walk dogs. There are all kind of new jobs that you can do right now. You can walk dogs. You could do Uber Eats. You could do, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to figure out how are we getting out this situation. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have knowledge and skill sets, then what is your hobbies and talents?
Bobby?
Well, she said it in a way that I can see and visualize that. Mm-hmm. And my bigger question is, how did we get to the point where we didn't already know that?
For real,
if we're gonna be together, we need to be generating some money.
Right.
And if we together, then we're gonna figure out how to do this shit. Or we ain't got no business being together.
For real.
Because life is too short. And I'm going to lots of funerals, so I take this shit very seriously.
Yeah, Bobby, talk that shit.
Y'all both broke already?
No, you can do something about it, but it shouldn't be no mystery what needs to get done. Mm-hmm. And that is, are we in this to get better? Because I got to get better. So I'm not going to keep living like this, because I can do bad by myself. So here's what I'm bringing to the table, and let's go to work.
Right. Right.
But this shit here ain't gonna make it.
Now let me say this to you, Bobby, and then the sisters can jump in as well. Nobody mentioned education. Is education now not a pathway to success?
Education will always be a pathway to success. It depends on where the classroom is. See, we've allowed other people to define markers. And I know too many people that spend very little time being formally educated, and they're some of the most productive people that ever lived.
Right.
And I'd rather trust their form of knowledge and the application of it than have to go for this shit where you got to have a PhD
and all that. Right.
Shit.
Sometimes a person with experience trumps the person with the education.
Every
Well, that
day,
is-
every
Absolutely.
time. Every time.
Big Bang
Depending on how you define words, man.
Bill Gates didn't graduate from college, and look what he's doing to the world right now.
Steve Jobs either. That's
All of
good.
it.
I like that.
All of the wealthy, Warren Buffett, none of those people.
They said fuck college.
Now, they didn't have to say it. They just had enough sense to know what they was doing, and they trusted what they was doing. And they didn't let no other stuff get in their way. And it all comes down to finding a need and filling it.
So how do you build that trust into kids? I want everybody to answer that, starting with Bobby, then Peaches, then me.
Trusting kids.
Like she said, like you guys were talking about.
Wait a minute, you said kids, right?
Yeah,
Children.
like you built the trust you were speaking of, the trust that person
How do you build
discovered.
that in kids?
How do you build it in the kids?
Well,
the
first
kids
thing
that
you
are,
do is you show them.
Yeah.
You don't just tell them, you show them. And if you're doing your job as the custodian, it's gonna happen. You're gonna make sure that they are exposed to life in a fair and honest way, to the extent where they're gonna understand there's consequences for deviation. You wanna do it your way, do it in your house. As long as you're under this roof here, you pitching in, you kicking in, and mostly you learning. Because you'll never have the excuse of not knowing how to be productive.
I love it. I love it. Peaches, and then Mimi.
I showed my son by making him get a job. He was old enough, because he saw me working hard, and you want all these fancy things, but these fancy things are combustible. They lose value when they come out the store. I taught him the value of things. He was always into the flashy stuff, because he grew up watching my brothers having money, and they having street money. So they got jewelry, they got this, and all that flash and pizzazz, that make little boys' eyes sparkle when they're young like that. But I had to tell him that there's a consequence to that. They always in jail, they always gone. You got to think about that. So it's about, like Bobby said, you got to show them and tell them, and keep your foot planted off in the back. Yes.
That's right. Affirm.
Mimi, your thoughts?
Same thing. I'm a single parent, so I raised my daughter by example. She watched everything I went through, because it was she and I the entire time. And so the entire time I showed her to love herself, to be a person that was a leader and not a follower, so that she doesn't leave the room with me and become somebody else's puppet. Because some of these kids are puppet when they leave your face. You think you got you a leader, they get off in another atmosphere with another leader. Now they the damn stooges, you know what I mean? So I made sure that I informed her of that. You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to what other people do. They all take a drug. You don't have to try that same drug. You can sit back and leave, or just know that's not for you. So I think it's important to lead by example, and then also let them know, the pros and cons of what that can lead to if you do what other people are doing. You know what I'm saying?
No, I totally get it.
There's consequences.
So I think for a broke couple, I think the first thing that needs to be put in place is reasonable expectations if y'all gonna decide to be together or stay together. Reasonable expectations. Because sometimes we be having these wild ass aspirations, but really no pathway to get there.
Right.
So I would first, try to evaluate what are the skills here. Oh, you went to school, but you didn't finish? You got 2 years in? Maybe you go back to school.
Have a plan.
Right? And finish. You can live off your little FAFSA for 2 years or whatever. And then after you get that degree, maybe you can parlay that into something. Because my uncle said something very interesting to me about degrees. He said, degrees are just passports. They don't represent real knowledge.
Right.
They're just passports to get you into certain rooms. This is why many people who get their degree, 9 times out of 10, they're not even working in the field that they study.
Right.
You can have more degrees than a thermometer and not be able to find your way out of a one-room apartment with an exit sign over the door.
Yep.
It's just too much, man. These words have just shaped people's path to destruction.
I think so.
Degree?
And you asking?
It's supply and demand, man, at the end of the day, man.
Yeah, well, this is why, in my opinion, this is why the gig economy is so big. Mimi mentioned it earlier. Uber Eats, Ubers.
Hustling.
What's the other one?
Postmates.
Postmates.
Grubhub.
Instacart.
All of that.
Grubhub. All that.
All that is filling the need.
Yeah.
When we got confined, you still had to eat. Somebody said, I can make some money doing that. It's filling the need.
Yeah.
You know, people got suspended license. They had to get Uber and Lyft to get where they need to go.
So it sounds like relationships are just not for broke people.
Well, no, that's not true because look at what we were raised in. My parents didn't have much.
Poverty is a serial killer.
Yeah.
Now, if you wake up every day and it gets worse,
And that's a problem if it gets
it's a
worse
breaking
every day.
point. And,
Right.
and in that situation, it always is a bad. You know, when people just can't get better financially, it'll wear them down, man. Because we talking about broke.
Right.
See, everybody else is just doing a little better than broke, but it keep your nerves rattled.
Right.
Because can't nothing go wrong economically.
Right.
You know, every level you go up economically, you know, the problems lessen, but you still have problems.
Yeah, they're just different kind of problems.
And some of them get worse.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Some of those problems.
You got a
be
little
like,
paper, man. Here go folks, man, that you know, man, you ain't seen forever, man. You know, and they want something, man. You know?
Yeah, and then they pump us with those thoughts. Look at Good Times. Remember the old TV show? James was always upset, broke, angry, mad. He came home, stressed himself out.
God damn it, Florida.
Had a heart attack. But, you know, they could say that those were happy times, the good times and all that stuff. Nobody was too much happy except for JJ in that house. Everybody was angry about something except for him.
JJ was clever. Cause every time James came home, boy, that bullshit he was doing over with. You know, he's like, man, I ain't got time for that.
JJ had the biggest upside, really, because he was an artist. He always had gigs because of his art.
Right, he was always about something, doing
Thelma
something.
was out there advertising that pussy. She had like 9 husbands. eBay, the African, I'm gonna take you.
James didn't get the credit he deserved.
Come on
man.
now.
I mean,
Damn. But my
man,
point, fool.
He fought for his ground, man.
This nigga.
Michael kept falling in and out of games in academia.
Michael had struggles internally going on with his sexuality, I
People
believe.
really don't have a grasp of what it's like to live in a concrete jungle. I remember the first time I went to Chicago, I thought those were office buildings. That was Cabrini Green,
was there.
Robert Taylor Home, and it's like
Cabrini Green Project.
Don't nothing work.
Don't nothing work.
The heater don't work. The elevator don't work.
Pissy staircases.
And this is every day.
I mean, we find time, even in those conditions, to still have sex
Yeah.
And make a baby.
that's why I said-
and make babies.
Right.
But then,
That's the entertainment.
man, I'm telling you, man.
That's all you
shit.
have left to do.
Sarah said they was
Well, when
trying
you
to
get
keep
through
warm.
doing that,
You feel
you
me?
go back to living like that.
Yeah.
It's 24 hours in a day. And every day, you start with that mess. Nothing works.
Nothing. But that's
Everywhere
why
you
you
go,
gotta have a plan.
Everybody's poor.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's a concrete jungle.
Yes.
But now maybe you want to get a job so I can get some heat.
Well,
You have a plan.
The heat
A
is in
job
that
is a
plan.
part of the plan. But you got to be
Right.
able to. But in a couple, see, black people, like Zoe said, we can be crabs in a barrel. Nobody wants to see another person elevate. Like you were saying, we could get
Well, then what are
together,
you doing
buy a
around
building.
folks like that?
No, I'm not around folks like that.
Well,
We're
I mean-
just talking
I mean
about
in
black
general.
people
I
in
mean in
general
general.
are like
Why
that.
do we accept that?
Okay.
Why do we accept that?
You okay? All right.
I think that's all we know.
Why?
Bobby.
No, that's not why we accept it, though.
Then why do we accept it?
Because we don't have the courage to overcome our fear.
That's a
There's
good
nobody
point.
ever been born that didn't have to face their fears. Rich or poor. If you're afraid of something, it can ruin your life. Because it leads to
I
bad
like that.
decisions.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
If you're afraid of something, it can ruin your life.
You can count on it.
And this generation is full of anxieties. I hear a lot of younger couples talking about, I've got anxiety about this. My husband has anxiety about that. If you're so full of anxieties under 35, I hate to see you when you get to my age.
They ain't gonna make it.
No, because you too stressed out already. Your kids look stressed
That's
out.
what's
When you
gonna kill
stressed out, your animals get stressed
pill
out
for
too. Everybody in the house stressed out. But it's too many people that think that way that are not, and like you said, it's a brokenness and they're not elevating from it. So how can we build in a broke state? It takes faith in each other and ourselves.
What?
She said faith, Bobby.
Faith.
Faith?
Yes.
That's a long shot right there.
Talk to me, Bobby. Why is faith a long
Why is
shot?
faith a long shot, Bobby?
Because that'll be all you holding on to.
Well, that's like people saying hope. It takes hope. It takes
I don't
faith.
want that either.
But you still got to execute a plan just because you have faith. God ain't going to help you do nothing. It ain't going to just go like that. He ain't going to presto, snapo. It's just going to appear in front of you.
About that too, several forms of Jehovah and God.
Everybody have their own belief
They
systems.
really do. So why not believe in what you believe in, and not get caught up in what you've seen fail,
Right.
time and time again. What they call broke is just like any other word. The main thing that breaks is your spirit.
Right.
Because I know too many people
Come on,
right
Bobby.
now that can, through their accumulation of wealth, burn up a wet dog in money. And it's because they were very good at accumulating money. But
Right.
then I look at the quality of their life, and it's mostly a preoccupation with the money.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
all it is. It's all about the acquisition of them dollar bills.
But
Yeah.
I'm just looking at how you living, and you ain't having no fun.
Yeah. Now,
That's true.
what's really interesting here, and we're covering a lot of it, man. You hear people say money is spiritual. I hear a lot of people saying that. If your spirit is right, the money just flows to you. But then I counter with, well, what about the bad people?
Right.
Who have money?
How can you explain
Right? I
that
say,
one?
how do you explain that? Because if that's the case, if money is spiritual and it just flows to you, right? Well, maybe it flows to bad people because their intention is, as Bobby said, everything about their life is focused on
Acquiring.
getting that money. And maybe that's the reason why they get what they get and how they get it. Now, again, they may get the money, like Bobby said, but be miserable as hell on the relationship side. Because first off, in corporate America, you really can't have no friends in corporate America.
It's hard to. You
It's
can't
all
trust them.
business relationships. And oftentimes, politics creeps into money. And when politics creeps into money, so-called friendships get broken up too. So, you get what I'm saying? You gotta choose who you want to be. You want to be this mercenary that goes out here and gets this money? Or is there a balance where you can develop a loving relationship at home while being that person out in the world? Is that possible, Bobby?
In some degree, yes. But again, it's about making that total commitment to what you think can be your best life. And it's gonna create a line of challenges because in each sector of your life, there are people that are not gonna be there if you're most successful at living your life.
Holla.
Uh-oh.
And that's just how it is. It's no getting around that. And if you say, okay, I'm ready for that. I'm ready to just create a world of my own through association with the right people for me and my 24 hours, day after day after day, till the day I die. And once I decided I was gonna live like that, it's very interesting, man.
It's been okay, right? It's been fulfilling.
No, it's been on some levels incredible. Because
I know for you it's been incredible.
Well, I know why. That's the point I'm making.
Exactly.
See, if you can figure out why, you'll find out how. But that's like I said, it's a very lonely journey because you have to know confidently that if you really start living that way, that which you seek purely in your heart, you start running into it. And it's not a coincidence. It's a wonderful occasion because what you ran into is what you were looking for.
Right.
You know, you ain't struggling with them, you ain't arguing with them, they happy to see you, and you know, and shit just start getting better.
Right.
You see what I mean? And not just materially.
Right.
Right. I watched my father go through so much money, it was ridiculous, just working in the industry as, you know, working for Motown, working for Polydor. I watched him.
What was he doing there?
He was the director of promotions.
Microphone.
Oh, no, I have a mic.
Got
He was a Southern coordinator of promotions for Motown, and he started off as A&R. He did road manager. Roy Ayers was his best friend. I mean, my father just worked in the industry for a very long time for different labels. Polydor, Capitol. A lot. I remember hearing Confunction as a demo, Switch as a demo. My dad would ask me, I remember he played Shake and Dance with me by Confunction. He said, you like that? That's the same album that had Love Strain. Look at the song now. You know, and I can remember growing up as a little girl, my dad saying, you like this? And I watched him go through so much money and so many women, ruin his relationships because of money. Because it was always about the acquisition of what them white people had in a black man's company.
So he was competing with them.
He was competing with them. I mean, he got fired because him and Rick James decided they wanted to fight the barge right before Barry Gordy did
I'm Rick James,
the
bitch.
25-year reunion. My daddy fucked one of them DeBarges up, so that's why he got fired from Motown, because they couldn't do the Motown 25 with bruises on them. Him and Rick James was high off that coke in that hotel room in Buffalo and decided they're going to start their own label and fuck everybody. That cocaine told them to do that shit.
This is a Charlie Murphy story right here.
Oh, true Zoe Williams Hollywood stories. But the problem is I watched him go through that money. I watched that money turn him into an evil tyrant. I watched him have all of this and go down to nothing. And the life of the party had nobody at his funeral. So I looked at that and I said, I do not want to ever live like my father did. Have all the money in the world and throw all the money in the world away.
But no love, no friends.
No love, no friends, no love for spirit, no spiritual. He was atheist, so he didn't have no love for God.
Oh, wow.
No love, but he was a Buddhist for a minute. That didn't last long either. So, I mean, he just was full of, I need this and fuck everything else.
Wow, that's a good example. And
that's why I'm not that way.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat room, I think it's, what is this? Daryl Perganan says, don't reconnect with toxic people because you're lonely. You wouldn't drink poison if you're thirsty.
Sounds good.
That's what I'm saying. Damn, Bobby, you took it right. Boy, Bobby knows me, man. He took it right. I was about to say, sounds smart. But here's the thing, man. Like listen, I'm not that relationship specialist that's going to tell you avoid toxic people. I'm just not. To me, that's Derek Jackson-esque. Meaning telling you some shit you want to hear. No disrespect to Derek Jackson.
What respect?
I'm just saying, like, being contradictory. Like, people tell you what you want to hear, right? Reverends have told us what we want to hear. Politicians have told us what we want to hear. I'm not the relationship guy that's going to tell you what you want to hear. This whole stop being with toxic people. I'm not going to tell you not to be with a toxic person. And the only reason why I say that is most people do not understand the spiritual component of relationships. This is why money matters more than anything else.
I got a point.
Go ahead, Bobby.
You need to clear up for me. You saying there's nothing wrong with being around a toxic person. What are you saying?
This is what I'm saying, Bobby.
Bobby said, what are you
that's
saying?
Why I love Bobby. This is why he's here. No, I'm saying certain people come into your life to teach you lessons.
About toxicity?
About your own toxicity.
Wait, whoa! I got.
So let me give you an example.
I need more help than that.
I'm trying, Bobby.
But it's taking too long.
Bobby said it's taking too long.
It's not a matter of whether you're toxic or not. You're saying there's nothing wrong with bringing somebody toxic in your life. I'm trying to see the upside.
No, what I'm saying
of bringing
is
somebody toxic close to you.
You're not bringing them; they just in your life.
But what are they doing there?
And what I'm saying
why
is,
can't you get rid of them?
Well, oftentimes you can't get rid of the toxic person on the outside until you get rid of the toxic person on the inside. Well, and the reason why they come around you is because they are reflecting back to you what you need to work on.
Well, that means I suspect toxicity outside of the toxicity I'm working in on myself.
Cut them off. Get your ass out of here.
It's too much. No, that's just too
ultimately, we try to find somebody that's like a fit. Right?
Well, there's a difference between a fit and a toxic person.
Sometimes toxic people fit with you.
Where?
Because they have lessons to learn first.
I've been saying it for years. Listen to me, Bobby. I've been saying it for years.
Bobby about to
oftentimes, what triggers you is dating what triggers them. We don't even recognize that our triggers are dating.
But there's a difference between your triggers and your future.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm saying the toxicity
you can't be spending that kind of time around somebody.
No toxic ass person.
No, not the way I'm defining toxic.
Yeah, but as soon as you get rid of that person, what happens is you try to find another.
And I will keep looking.
I know you keep looking, and then that person come back.
No.
In the form of another person.
That's some
a different part of the toxicity.
That's some Santa Claus shit you talking about right now. That's some Easter Bunny shit you talking about.
Somebody in the chat said a toxic person showed me that I need to work on some things I thought was gone, but it resonates.
Boom. That's the key.
Zero gravity.
Listen, we live in a society with a bunch of people who say, I deserve this, I deserve that, I deserve this, and I deserve that. And I say, how do you deserve what you haven't worked on and developed within yourself?
I'm getting confused.
A lot of people be wanting like Prince Charming, and they want this wonderful person, but they themselves aren't wonderful.
Well, they're going to get what they deserve.
That's my, thank you. Now, Bobby.
They ain't going to give it to me, though.
They going to give it to you.
They going to give it to themselves.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man, we got to wrap up this show, but I appreciate everybody for being here. Uncle Bobby, man.
Yeah, I'll be available for you to listen to next Tuesday on multiple platforms: iHeartRadio, Apple, podcasts. You know, type my name in, it'll pop up because these white folks is working with me, and and they stand to benefit tremendously by doing so.
Right.
So I want to share that with my people. So. And you'll recognize some of the names and faces of the people. Can you just
give them a little preview? Just tell them a little bit about it.
I just did, in my own form.
I know you're not giving up the jewels, man. I'm so excited about this project.
What is it? What is it?
It's a podcast entitled Westward. And it's about the evolution of professional basketball in the city of Los Angeles. And the way the story is told,
it's amazing.
You can't duplicate it because it's certain people made this happen. And one of those people was Jerome Allen West, better known as Jerry West, also known as the Logo, and a man by the name of Elgin Gay Baylor out of Washington, D.C.
Wow.
And by the time people recognized what was going on, it was showtime.
Magic.
Hey, when I
magic.
tell you, Bobby,
Then it was
he let me hear a little
COVID.
bit of it.
Oh, that's gonna be
Hey, when I tell
fire.
you, Bobby, fire.
I cut his hair a couple of times. He pretty cool. I used to cut his kids' hair.
I'm just
If
saying.
Bobby ain't gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. Bobby has the last interview with the legendary Elgin Baylor.
That's dope.
Well, it's
Bobby out of control. Y'all don't understand.
I'm in control finally, and
He
Zo-
said, I'm in control.
and Zoe is a part of that experience because one of the things that we've actually used for sound in one of the shows is
Oh,
what
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
I can't.
yeah,
We
yeah.
don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I'ma listen. Where can they find it again, Bobby?
It's gonna be on iHeart platforms. It's called. If you just do #Westward, it'll probably pop up by now because, like I say, they got a vested interest in the success of the show.
I be wanting to talk about it because
Yeah.
it's so dope. It's so dope. Bobby sent me some of it. I listened. I said, "Oh man, it's
That's
about to be over
fire.
with.
I'ma
Bobby about
listen
to
too.
take off, man."
Well, I'm carrying
Those
some
NBA
people.
stories be so good.
I'm carrying some people with me because there's some people that put me out there.
Yeah.
See, we talking ancestry.
Yeah.
And that's why, I kind of got an edge right now because we can do much better and we don't have time to waste. We really don't. We got to understand the value that we have in each other. And after that, man, the strength comes. It really
Right.
does to just say no to people when they bullshit.
Easily.
It was called Westward.
Westward. Yeah, WESTWARD.
No, it's my
Westward.
favorite word sometimes because
Yeah.
people will take advantage of you if you don't cut them off and say no.
And you can't get mad at them, you know.
Just cut yourself off.
No.
Yeah.
See, it felt good. I said it from the taint up.
Just
So that's what's up, man.
I love it, man. Thank you, Bobby. And
Westward.
Peaches, what do you have?
You guys can find me. My other Instagram was compromised, so follow the new one, The Real Donnie
your
Keith
com-
Comedy on IG. Yeah, that's it right there. Just add comedy at the
Who
back.
wrote this,
of it.
Bobby?
That's recycling blank dollars.
Thank
I go all
y'all.
the way back with that. So that's the new 2021 resource guide.
Of all
And,
black businesses
yeah.
in Southern California.
Not all, no way if it was that.
It would be much bigger than
Shouldn't
that.
it?
But damn.
Yeah, and I wrote a couple articles in there,
Look at this. Bobby out here doing it. Black businesses matter. Recycling
That's right.
black dollars. And there's Danny Bakewell and Pamela Bakewell. I see Danny Bakewell Jr. They out here doing it. Recycling black dollars, man. This is like a compendium of black-owned businesses in what? The Crenshaw area?
No, it's all over.
Inglewood, everywhere.
All over. Since 1988.
Nice.
Yeah.
Peaches, do you have anything to promote?
No, just listen to the Aunties on Monday, Wednesdays, and on Thursday and Friday. You guys check us out on Dash Talk X. Also, you can check out comedy show this Saturday if you in LA at the Rooftop in Inglewood on the 24th too. I'll be telling some jokes again. Yay!
You gonna be at a club?
Well, they got us on a rooftop. We working on getting in clubs. We working on it in California. You got to go out of town to get money on stage as a comic right
You're
now.
not doing it.
I can't do it. I got to work. I'm a working comic. It ain't
got
paying
it.
my bills.
I got it. Lord have mercy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to The Voice of Reason. I appreciate everybody for chiming in, hitting the like button, the share button. Hey, once we load this video, share it with everybody, man. I appreciate y'all. Thanks again. We out. Deuces.
Deuces, y'all. Love you.
Yeah, it's